I'm Dan Villemare. I'm president of C&M Machine Products, and we actually are a manufacturer of precision Swiss machine components. Pretty much all small metal components you can see on the table right here. And we can take apart from engineering, prototype, all the way up through mid to high level production. It started in 1978. My father actually started the company, and it grew into something where they started investing in new capital equipment and got into the CNC technology. And we've kind of grown from that to this day. And we've continued to invest in new capital equipment. We've continued to invest in our people. Just last year, we grew from 55 people to 95 people. And that was a pretty substantial growth, and that was in a time where a lot of people weren't doing so well. So when we get employees, we retain them. We like to treat our employees well, and because they're really the lifeblood of the company. They're the people that make this thing run. So we do put a lot of money into training, a lot of effort into training. In the last couple of years, we've kind of made a conscious effort to work with the tech programs in Lowell, the tech programs in Nashua, to kind of develop relationships with them, help them out in any way we can, and get the kids on board so that we can have machinists of the future. Yeah, one of the ways we've really tried to differentiate ourselves is to invest in capital equipment. We consistently invest in capital equipment. Every year we're buying something new, and we really want to stay on the leading edge of what's out there. And a good example is if you have a 4-year-old computer versus a brand new computer, which one's going to run better, run faster? And there's value in that from not only our end, but from our customers' end. They see the value as a cheaper part. We're going to reduce the cycle time on it. Our capacity opens up because we can make the part faster, make it more efficient. Kind of the way the industries are going right now, everyone's moving to tighter tolerance stuff. They have to make the products better because that's the way they differentiate from their competitors. And that's one of the things that we have to invest in the new equipment to ride along with them and help make their part better. Another way we try and differentiate from our competitors is stocking programs. We do Kanban. We'll do inventory stocking program where we'll keep a certain number of weeks on hand on the shelf so that then when they call up, we can ship them out that day. We do other programs where we keep a min-max level and we just manufacture to the min-max level, manufacturing to their forecasts. But again, it's somewhere we're not afraid to hold inventory. We'll carry those costs to satisfy our customer. If someone comes to us with a project and it makes sense for us to go and invest in new capital equipment, we are not afraid to do that at all. We have the means to do it, and we will do it to make sure that that customer is satisfied, that they'll get the product for the cheapest price that they can get it for. So we had this part here that a customer came to us and they wanted to look at some way of cost reducing it. So we went out and we actually looked at what machine can we go out and buy that'll make the number of parts that they need at the price they need it at. So we went out and found this machine here, this Hydromat, and we actually brought this from a 3-minute and 30-second cycle down to 10 seconds. And actually cost reduce the part by $6. The products for the customers are getting a lot tighter tolerance. The quality has to be so much better. And that's fine and great. You're making it off the machine, you're doing great. You have to be able to inspect it. And that's what a lot of people don't think about. So we ended up investing a lot of money in testing equipment. This is a brand new investment that we made, Brown & Sharp C&M coordinate measuring machine. And what it does is this probe will actually go into a part that's fixtured onto this platform here. And it'll go in and take all the dimensions down to a millionth of an inch. We went out and got visual comparators, and we actually got 2 Oasis vision systems. We put a part up on the platform there, and it takes a snapshot of the profile of the part. And just some of the things that we wanted to do to ensure that the quality going out the door was as good as it can possibly be. We've also made an investment in our quality process. We're ISO 9001-2008 certified. And last year we also became AS 9100 certified. So that's our aerospace certification. So we've kind of taken it to the next level. We've brought the quality to the next level where we can start working on aerospace defense parts. And that's really kind of been a really good tool for us to not only improve our process here, but as a tool to go out and find new business and find new customers. The standard operating procedure for us is to do a 5-piece first article inspection. So when a guy sets up a machine, he'll run the first 5 pieces off, make sure everything's good, send it to QC, our quality control department. If it's good, they'll stamp it off, and they're good to go for production. Now, some of our customers actually require different quality checks, and that it requires a CPK, failure analysis, gauge R&R, all different types of things that we can provide them to really get the process approved. Another thing that we do is called a capability study, where we'll actually take one part out of every 25 we run and put it in a box, send it to our customer, and they'll actually run off the inspection and make sure that the process is really capable of running full-time production.
This is part of the green initiative too that C&M's kind of taking. We're trying to recycle as much oil as we can. We had hoppers filling up every 30 to 40 minutes. We didn't have enough time to let the oil drain out of them, so we were sending the chips off to be recycled with 35% oil concentration. Now you can imagine with the price of oil right now, that's not something that we want to do. So we were looking at ways that we could not only recoup the oil, but send cleaner chips to our scrap dealer. We had been to some trade shows and we saw this machine, and it's called a briquetter. You just roll the hopper in, it flips it into the machine here, it puts all the chips in, and it compacts it into a brick and squeezes out all the oil. We actually take the oil, pump it back into a tank, filter it down to 1 micron, and actually reuse all the oil.
Some of the things we do to develop relationships with customers is we'll go in there and we like to take a look at a process, how they use a part, and then we'll go in there and see how we can cost reduce something like that. I mean, you can take a look at some examples of a part like this, where this used to be a cap that was press fit on there, and then they weld it around. We kind of looked at it and looked at the use of it. They stuff it with electronics. This is just a housing. And we looked at it and said, hey, we can make that in one part and save them $1 a part, just because we knew the capability of our machines.
There's a barcode affixed to the back of the tray. It'll read the barcode, and it actually pulls up the correct program, and it'll laser mark with our date code, our supplier code. This is for a specific customer, and it's pretty much you can do whatever the customer requires on this thing. So we affix them in custom trays, make all these trays for the parts that are being laser marked. Whatever you want laser marked on there, we've had some fun with it.
We actually like to think of our customers as partners. It's not really a supplier-customer relationship. And the companies who think of us as a partner as well, those are the most successful relationships. We serve on the supplier council for a Fortune 500 company. They use companies like Tyco and all these other Aero Electronics, and there's little C&M on the supplier council, one of 13 companies of their 3,000 person supplier base. And one of 13 companies that sits on the council and talks and gives them feedback, and they trust us enough to take the feedback and actually listen to us. It's really like a partnership. It's not a supplier-vendor relationship. It's a partnership. Right now we're operating out of 2 38,000 square foot facilities. By the end of the year, we want to have our expansion, our other 38,000 square foot facility, and expanding it to 96,000 square feet and moving everything under one roof. So we're constantly looking at ways that we can improve the business, constantly looking at ways that we can grow the business. And like I said, we're always looking at new technologies, trying to stay on the leading edge every which way we can, whether that's inspection equipment, production equipment, or even facility, which translates into cost savings for the customer. We make it very clear that our customer is extremely important to us, and that goes throughout the shop. We got the lettering up all over the wall. If we don't service our customers, someone else will. And that's as true as it can get right there. The customer is the most important person, and we need to satisfy them by all means and do whatever we have to do to get the job done and make them happy. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.